What's up, everybody? I'm Chase Lee reporting for DallasMoviescreens.com, and welcome back to my continuing coverage of the 2018 Dallas International Film Festival. I'm going to be reviewing a bunch of movies for you guys, so I'm going to throw them all at you, and you can watch one of them or watch all of them to see my take on a specific movie you've been looking forward to. Now, this is the 10th film. Yes, 10th, double digits. I finally reached it. 10th film at the festival that I've seen so far, and this one's called Generation Wealth, and this is a documentary written, directed, and even co-starring as one of the interviewees and one of the subjects of this documentary, Lauren Greenfield. And this one is about showing how the culture has changed in our society as people, and how we value money and excess and greed and wealth status and status in general, social media presence, and how we favor that over, the more important things in life like family or, morals. And so this one just kind of showcases the excess of our country and how greed has propelled us to want to achieve that, even though for most of us that is not a reality at all. So it's basically like watching Wolf of Wall Street times 1,000 because it's real. So, my anticipation going into this movie is that I had never seen a trailer. I didn't even know what this was about. This was just something that fell upon the list while my co-host scheduled the list for us. And so, I took a shot on it because I love me some docs. And I gotta tell you, this is like a gut punch of the American dream, like to the face. And it's just gone wild. It's just gone array, and we have to wrangle it in. That's what it was like. It was devastating because you know that this is real. You know that people go through with this, and you know that people can't help themselves and wanting to better themselves and use money to propel their fantasies, even though they're going to be extremely unhappy, as we see a bunch of interviewees in this documentary. This is a wonderful documentary. It's horrifying, but it's wonderful. And wonderful in the sense of showcasing what money can do to a person, and also wonderful for the amount of effort that Lauren Greenfield put into this documentary. One of the biggest compliments I can give is Lauren Greenfield. Why? Because she directed, and I know she didn't edited the movie, but she still oversaw it. She directed, edited, and researched the hell out of this movie. There are so many people interviewed, whether it's higher class or middle class or, people that were once high class and now middle class. It was so fascinating to see everyone's point of view on, our culture in general, and, money and what it does to people. It was so fascinating that I was mesmerized the entire time. And that's what Lauren wanted you to feel like. She wanted you hypnotized in this world explored by greed, whether it be a stripper in Las Vegas, or whether it be someone in California who grew up rich and now is just kind of middle class, or even focusing on her own family and having her kids point out her obsessions. And like I said, it doesn't just involve greed; it involves obsession and just this kind of like self-obsessed culture that we live in. Everyone is, a victim to it, to some degree. And I found that fascinating because she got so many different perspectives, and we bounced around a lot. We bounced around from a lot of people. Now, there are core key players in the documentary, and we kind of focus on them the most, and they do have some arcs, but she still gets testimonies, interviews, audio interviews from so many people that I was just kind of baffled that it was edited in such a slick manner, and I was so into the movie that I forgot I was watching real life. I thought I was watching like the behind the scenes of like Wolf of Wall Street or something. Like it was insane. But when it does kick in, and when you realize you are watching real life people, there is a sadness factor to it. Yes, this movie is fascinating and mesmerizing to watch, and the editing is super high paced and super slick, and it actually kind of mimics club culture, which is, club culture is, kind kind of along the line, in the same ballpark as like greed and, you know, self-obsession and whatnot and excess. So I found that kind of fascinating. But there is an underlying sadness that kind of goes throughout the movie. Whether it be a rich hedge fund manager who is rich on top of the world and she maybe can't get pregnant. Or we focus on another guy who has lost his family because he was so obsessed with money that he couldn't stop talking about it or look away from his phone, and his wife just wanted to have a conversation with him. And then, like I said, the director throws herself into the mix because she does have obsession as one of the themes throughout. She is obsessed with making this movie. She has been obsessed with this type of culture for decades, and her kids call her out on it. So when you go in, you think it's going to be a movie about money and how people are rich and unhappy and stuff. No, it actually goes a lot deeper than that, and it's more of like a therapy session for all of us that want to achieve this kind of illusion of rich, gandrous, things in our lives, and we want that wealth and that status and that power. This documentary breaks all that and goes, you can have that illusion, but that's not the illusion that you want. And it really isn't. You can say you want money and you want to be rich, but you will be unhappy. That's the core thing with this. Is money important in some cases? Sure. But it's like they pointed out in the movie, it could be used for good, it could be used for bad. It's just, there's a lot of areas with wealth, and just the guy twirling the mustache and is like, oh, I'm rich and I'm just evil. There's a lot that it does, and there's a lot of consequences that can follow, whether it be good or bad. And this documentary showcases it. It is horrifying to watch. It is, like I said in my tweet, a true American horror story of excess and greed, and that is definitely the underlying thing throughout the entire doc, is that it's not important. It really isn't. And towards the end, Lauren's like, one of the more important things in life is family. She even interviewed someone who said the same thing, and it's like, that's true. It's about the people you love in your life, and it's not about, paper currency that we put value on. Life is more important than that, and she wants you to open up her eyes. And a lot of people in this documentary that are being interviewed open up their eyes to that. And I got to give props to her. It is researched to the extreme. It is edited and directed with such precision and slickness that I was just impressed. So as far as documentary goes, this is one of the highest ones that I've seen in terms of grade and rewatchability and recommendation. It's hard to watch sometimes, sure, but I think everyone kind of needs to see this and realize that the quote-unquote American dream that you see in the movies or music videos or television, that's not real. And people have to know the difference between reality and fantasy and know what is important in life. So I'm going to give Generation Wealth a solid A. I might watch this again and give it that A+, but I think for right now, I will give it the highest grade I can without, giving it that plus and feel comfortable. So I'm going to give it an A. So what did you guys think of Generation Wealth, or have you heard of it? Comment in the place where my face and let me know. And as always, guys, I'm Chase Lee reporting for DallasMovieScreens.com. And I guess come on back for my continuing coverage of the 2018 Dallas International Film Festival. And that will be it for this one. So I will see you guys later.